to say when you never really had to grind. Breeze coming from someone who benefits of America's lives and the blood and sweat of my ancestors' cries. They say freedom is a state of mind, but hard to find when every time your hair rise. You see the lights and hear the chimes of the sirens here to protect you. The badge meant to serve, but only serves to church a couple G's to bury you. Freedom is a state of mind, but no amount of meditating give me peace of mind. Knowing that there's only a matter of time before that big red turtle on my back hits bullseye, bang bang, drop dead, I died. But look at the bright side, took a big weight off my shoulders. Thank you, mama, for everything you showed us. Now I'm chilling with the big man who made us. Said freedom is a state of mind. Now I'm here to feel freedom for the first time. No one judges by the color of the skin or the way I wear my hair or the way I say hi. Told Jesus, what's up? What to do? I told him nothing much. Saw Emmett Till booed up. Chucked it over Harriet and Dr. King. He said, how was my dream? I cried to the Martin, it's a sad thing. I was so young, 16, a real bright future ahead of me. Got killed for a little weed in a bad place trying to make a little money. My mama was sick. My little sister started hurt to see her hungry.
So this time last year, it was around Juneteenth time, and we had family over. We did kind of like a Kwanzaa dinner and dialogue or discussion session. And one of the key topics that came out of there was America, the land of the free, and what freedom really means. Freedom is a state of mind. I want to welcome this family here tonight. It's myself, my 3 sons, Jonah, Noah, and Micah, but also their 2 friends, Isaac and Rupert, that was visiting us. This is my husband, Ozanne Anderson. We know that a lot of people have been up in arms about their freedom, what it means to be free in America. What does it mean for white men to be free in America? What does it mean for black men to be free in America? We've discovered that a lot of people weigh their freedom on their ability to go to the barbershop or their ability to move freely here and there, wherever they want to be. We opened up with Noah's song, Freedom is a State of Mind. And in that song, he refers to freedom being a wonderful expression, but is it freedom for people of color in actuality?
They say freedom is a state of mind. Easy to say when you never really had to grind. A breeze coming from someone who benefits off America's lives and the blood and sweat of my ancestors' cries. They say freedom is a state of mind, but hard to find when every time your hair rises, when you see the lights and hear the chimes of the sirens there to protect you. The badge meant to serve, but only serves to church a couple G's to bury you.
My thoughts on freedom has really changed. Like from when I wrote that song, it was specifically when I wrote it for black people, but I started to notice that we all, just freedom, period, free will, everything is a facade. It's not real. I believe at one point it was, but I believe as man started to really get in more of a systematic control, that kind of got lost. Through these last months, I've been growing a lot in myself and really not really caring much what other people think and really just being like, okay, what do I think about myself? Because I think that's what matters more than anything, what your perception of yourself is. Because I'll be honest with you, when everything happened with my pops, all that attention, all that stuff came in, it seemed like, okay, everybody wants an interview, everybody wants to know what's on my mind and all that stuff, and then how quickly that can fade away. That kind of just shows the mindsets of man.
Led by Noah Anderson, president of the Black Student Union and son of Ozanne Anderson, hundreds marched not only to support Marlon,
the halls are kind of sadder without him,
but to change the policy that led to his firing.
Anything that got anything to do with us, our voices will be heard.
For now on.
Wow, for me, freedom would finally, and I won't say it's too late for me, but I've had the conversation that when my sons have children, they don't have to have the conversation that I had with them to say, if you're ever pulled over by the police, make sure your wallet's on the seat and make sure your hands stay on the dashboard and don't move your hands off the dashboard. That when I can talk to my sons and send them out into a world, to my grandsons and granddaughters, send them out into a world where they don't have to be, I don't have to tell them that your skin color is a threat. That I don't have to let them know that because of what you look like and the melanin in your skin, the beauty of your skin tone, other people will look at you and say that you're a threat. That's freedom to me, when little kids can go and play and not worry that somebody's going to misinterpret their playing as a threat.
Just one thing that's on my mind right now is Black people have been demanding freedom for our lives, not for material things. We are demanding the right to live, the right to, if we were to use recent cases, the right to jog, the right to just explore, the right to drive. How do I feel since last Juneteenth and since that last discussion? Well, because we were really at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of uncertainties at that time. I created this haven for myself on the side of our apartment. I built a whole garden that I was really proud of, but it also was a place of peace for me during that time. And I felt like just this expectation of change coming. So since then, it's almost as if the covers was taken off and we could see what was really in the underbelly of our nation, how people really felt, and what people were willing to do in order to uphold the status quo and the resistance to people crying out for equality. Let's just kind of talk about some facts about Juneteenth, what we already know and what maybe we need to learn about the holiday. So anybody, you could just kind of throw some stuff out there.
That was the day Black people officially got their freedom from slavery. Not when Abe Lincoln passed that amendment to so-called end slavery. It was years later when we actually got our freedom on June 19th.
I feel just daily the shock value of the fact that I only know in part, I didn't live through the civil rights movement, but I know in part because even a part of that was withheld from me, the part of the truth of all of what took place during the civil rights movement and before, because even that's, I don't even have freedom to learn my own history. Like growing up, when I look back, that freedom didn't exist for me to know the truth about my own history. My own American history, but then also my ancestral history that's coming, that goes back to my roots in Africa. All of that was stolen from me, my family, my children, my children's children, because some of that will never be recovered. So the right to even know who I am, the right to have a true identity, there is no other culture represented here in America that can attest to maybe indigenous peoples in certain ways, but that can attest to that there was a literal strategic movement to erase their history, who they are, altogether, that you don't have a right to who you are. Can you imagine that? And so, if I can recall, General Granger was sent to go spread the word in the South that the slaves were free, and to make sure that the law was adhered to. And that day was Juneteenth.
It's kind of funny to even say it, but attain freedom. I like the t-shirts that say free-ish, because even though the freedom was declared, it wasn't experienced the way the American dream is set up, and even the way our white counterparts have experienced freedom. We don't have that same level of freedom that they have. We don't have that same level of security that white people have, because of systematic racism that has been set up. And one of the things I always say, that one of the biggest problems with America is that the idea of America is a beautiful thing, but America itself has never really been birthed because of white supremacy and systematic racism. The idea of America, again, like I said, is beautiful. It's this great melting pot. Every race, every culture can come to our country, put their culture into the pot, and stir it up and create this beautiful stew that is called America. But we've never gotten to that point because of racism. People start feeling like, oh, you're going to take what's mine. No, it's not yours. We all have a right to the piece of the pie. But racism has been the biggest virus to this country. White supremacy has been the biggest virus to this country. And we have never really attained the dream of America because of it.
I do not really even, I think, for the very first time, feel hopeful, because I used to think that truth was something, once revealed, was something that, good or bad, we could all sit around and say, okay, this is the truth, and we can agree that this is the truth. And now that everybody is on the same page, we can fix it. That's just where I am right now. My sons, all of them are brilliant. And I'm not just saying that because they're my sons, but they really are. They all hold their own lot of brilliance, and they wield it in different ways. One thing I do grieve since last year is my youngest is viewing the world through this lens of reality, that he does have an understanding of what's going on, and I grieve whether or not he is able to be free to dream, whether or not he can have the state of mind of true freedom when he sees the truth as blatantly as I do. I grieve that he has to fight for his freedom being a state of mind. He has to fight for it, where it's just handed to other children. He has to fight for the state of mind that I am truly free. And I feel also that I have to fight. I have to fight I have to fight for hope. I have to fight to keep hope alive, if you will, because without hope, really, what is there? You know.